is not well with Nigeria, not just the judiciary. Agbakoba shock Nigerians with this new revelation. There is fire on the mountain. All is not well with Nigeria. Indeed, after listening to what he have just reviewed. Hey guys, welcome back to Prospect Channel TV. Thank you for always coming out here. If you're just joining us, please kindly subscribe and don't forget to give us a thumbs up. A former president of the Nigerian Bar Association, Chief Olisa Agbakoba, is also a civil rights advocate. In this interview with Olaolu Oladipo, he appraises the new regime of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu with a call on him to restructure the country. You are a senior member of the bar who has over the years weighed in on many important issues affecting the country on a number of occasions. With the situation of things, would you say that all is well with the judiciary? It is not well, not only with the judiciary arm of government, but with the country as a whole. What we have been waiting for is good governance. And this was what I spoke about when I spoke at the Senate President's birthday, a colloquium, recently in Abuja. I told those present at the event that as a country, we are faced with a very dire and challenging situation. I said that we are in a period where the most effective form of leadership from the executive to the legislature to the judiciary is required, so as a country we are operating sub-optimally. I mean, as a country, we are not doing well as we should be given the human capital and natural resources that are at our disposal. So, it is not all about the judiciary, because if you isolate the judiciary alone for screening, you will mix a whole big issue that is playing out in Nigeria today. People of Nigeria are suffering. I said that at the event to President Tinubu, and those present agree with subsidy payment removal, but I needed to see what the complementary legislative and executive measures would be put in place to ameliorate the sufferings of the people. So, those are the issues I hope all the heads of the three arms of government should address. I mean the executive led by President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, the legislature led by Senator Akpabio, and the judiciary led by the CJN. They have to come together and realize that Nigerians are really undergoing a lot of pain. A person that pay you 40,000 naira, how does he buy a bag of rice worth 50,000? You see, a lot of families really in poverty now. That subsidy payment has gone. Price of fuel was formerly controlled, but now the subsidy has gone. How does the system take care of what clearly is the huge challenge of Nigerians to get along on a daily basis? That is the national context that we are controlled or confronted with as a nation. Looking at the whole scenario, could you hazard a guess as to how we get to this sorry state? It is a long story which started from 1914. That was when Lord Lugard, but all of us together without considering whatever we were really one nation. That is when the problem started. You will recall that the late Chief Bola Ige posed two questions to Nigerians. He said, the first question must ask is, do we want to be a one Nigeria? Let's be practical in answering this question by answering it. If I really want to live together with my wife, I must answer that question, because if you don't want to be in a marriage with your wife, then that is the end. But if you say that you want to be married to her, you will now consider if you are polygamous, whether you can live in the same roof with all of them. If they are of different tribes, because they will be fighting over which of the soup to cook for the house. One of them could say that she wants to cook okra, while another would say it is egusi. She wants. Another one would say she want to cook amala and also. Chief MK Abiola told me when I was working with him closely was that he handled the situation well by building separate bungalows for each of the wives around his big house. This is so if any of the wives want to cook okra, that should not be any problem. What we have spoken in the past is that the people cannot be controlled from Abuja. I have given you a simple illustration to show that our problem is not as complicated as it seems. It is just that in answering Bola Ige question, we really need to know if we want to be in this critical marriage, and if yes, what kind of marriage. The kind of marriage that we want to be in is the one that all laws of the zones, there are 6 of them, but I have always talked about it. All the zones should have enough judiciary, legislative, and executive power to run on their own. The central does not need all the powers that it has. That was how the country was governed in the past. During the time of Sir Abubakar Tafawa Balewa, the Southerner, Zik, and Awolowo, you had 3 great institutions in the West. You had Western Nigeria Development Corporation. In the North, you had Northern Nigeria Development Corporation, and in the East, you had the Eastern Nigeria Development Corporation. These 3 regions used these corporations to drive their respective development. Today, everything has been centralized. How can the federal government drive development in Niger Delta through the NDDC and yet have a federal ministry for Niger Delta in Abuja? How does the issue of Niger Delta concern them? That is the problem. These are the issues. Education, the federal government refuse collection. The federal government, what the Lagos state government should leave for the local government, it has appreciated it to itself. The money that had to go to the local government is being centered by the state government. How can you develop in such a situation? These are the critical questions that need to be answered. I just read the budget yesterday. It is the same old chariot. Nigerians, we cannot continue. There are so many. In fact, there is a problem. Abeg, make I drop am for you. Kindly share your thoughts below in the comment section. Thank you.